In this video, there's a lot of focusing issues, and it's a new camera, so I'm still getting the gist of it. I also couldn't see because as I was filming, the sun kept coming out more and more and more, and when the sun changes, it like reflects off the floor and then like hits me in the eye, so I couldn't see the camera, and then that I also couldn't see that it was out of focus. So I'm so sorry. This video is majority, like half, like the end half is out of focus, and then there's also a beauty filter on, which I absolutely hate because it just looks so fake, and obviously I don't have perfect skin, so I don't like how fake it looks. Bear with me. I don't know if this bugs you as much as it bugs me, but being an editor and knowing it's out of focus is just stressing me out, so enjoy that.
Have you guys ever looked at Sarah J Maas's books and been like, wow, that's a lot of books? 16 books. Isn't that crazy? 16 bucks. There is not like an exact tally amount that I'm finding, but it's over 20 books. I have 17, and there are still more novellas. There are graphic novels. She's coming out with a romance novella in December. This woman is kicking, and I believe she's coming out with one final series to the Shadowhunter world. This is where I come in. I'm gonna help break all of this down because the Shadowhunter world is so complex. When I first got into reading these books, I didn't know where to start. Everyone's telling me you gotta do this, but then you gotta go to this series, and then you gotta all the way in the back into there. There are so many orders. There's one where it's like, I think it's called the 4 trilogies. That's where I learned it from, and that will be the first one we will be talking about. It's more simple. I'll be able to break down all the books, why everything kind of comes together. Then got, I believe we'll do the chronological way if I can find it. That is a little, that's definitely complex because you're jumping from books to books, novellas to novellas. So that one's, if you really want to do all that work, I've got you. Next way is how Cassandra Clare herself recommends you reading it. And then we are also going to do publication order. Lots to talk about. Order we're going to be starting with is called the 4 trilogies order. I learned this way back from Emma. I think her video is still up. She's got a few ways on how you should read the Shadowhunter Chronicles. She is literally like my goddess. That's where I fell in love from Shadowhunters. I was a little annoying and I read all of the Immortal Instruments, and that led to me being spoiled. Red alert right there, do not get spoiled, because I promise you, you will fall in love with these characters and you're gonna wanna know. You start with the Mortal Instruments series. The Mortal Instruments series is a fantastic way to start with the Shadowhunter books. This follows Clary and Jace, and you go into the world how Clary goes into New York City, I think around like 2010, and she's just like a regular human girl until her mom goes missing and she finds herself kicked into the Shadowhunter universe. I think it's a perfect place to start, considering that if you don't know anything, you're gonna want to start here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna read the first 3 Mortal Instruments books, which is, it starts with City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass. Now, the reason I say you only start with these 3 is because something happens at the end of the Heavenly Fire book where you don't want to be spoiled, and you learn about it in another series, and that's why you're freezing on these 3. So when I was reading the Mortal Instruments, I realized that when I finished the 3rd book, I was like, wow, that like really closed up, and that plot that we had for the first 3 books is done. And I was like, that's kind of interesting considering that there's 3 other books. This follows one plot and you finish that one up. I think of it as the last 3 books as a part 2. You're gonna read these first 3. Now that you read those 3, you are going to go into the Infernal Devices series. The Infernal Device series takes place before the Mortal Instruments series, and this is your ancestors, and you will remember certain names from the Infernal Device series that connect with the Mortal Instrument characters. Gonna be a lot. This follows Tessa Gray, and she is during like Victorian England, and she is going to England from New York City to go see her brother, and right off the bat she's kidnapped, and then she's thrown into the Shadowhunter world. You go into the Infernal Device series, which is just 3 books, a trilogy. So there is Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. When you read the Infernal Devices series and you read it between those 3, you're gonna cry, and you're gonna cry even more on the last book of the Mortal Instruments series. Now that you've read 6 books, you can go back into the Mortal Instruments series and finish that off. I told Danielle to do this and she was like, heck no. You don't have to do it like this. Let me just say it here. As someone who read it wrong and was slightly spoiled with what happens, it's not like so crazy you're like really, really mad. It's a slight thing that you see at the end of City of Heavenly Fire. If you read Infernal Devices afterwards, you're gonna be like, oh, and then you're gonna cry. So that's all I'm saying. If you want to read it with the Mortal Instruments and then the Infernal Devices, that's totally fine, because I'm the same way. Like, I didn't want to stop and then start another series, because that just, with my brain, it didn't work. But if you want to do that, you'll be fine. It's just, there's something at the ends that you're just gonna be like, oh. So now you're gonna go into the last 3 Mortal Instruments books, which is going to be City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, City of Heavenly Fire. Ta-da! You've got through only 2 series, but in those 2 series you've finished 9 books. Cassandra Clare has so many novellas and short stories on the side. If you don't love the Shadowhunter Chronicles, you don't have to read them. You can skip them if you want. So far with the novellas that I've read, you either get history of a character or you get the in-betweens of books. So far with the novellas, I haven't seen anything that was crucial that I needed in the next book. It just frankly either set up a book or just told them what they were doing in between. The next book you're gonna read is going to be the Bane Chronicles, and this follows Magnus Bane. Magnus Bane is a primal part in these first 2 series. So in this book, you get his backstory and a lot of like just fun adventures he did before he met Clare, Jace, Will, Tessa, Jem. All of the novellas you can find in Barnes & Noble as one set book. So this has 11 novellas. Those are What Really Happened in Peru, The Runaway Queen, Vampire Scones and Edmund Herondale, The Midnight Heir, The Rise of the Hotel de Moor, Saving Rafael Santiago, The Fall of the Hotel de Moor, What to Buy the Shadowhunter Who Has Everything and Who You're Not Officially Dating Anyway, The Last Stand of the New York Institute, The Course of True Love and First Dates, The Voicemail of Magnus Bane. I read these all at once. It is the Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. Now this follows a character from the Mortal Instruments books, and you just see them go throughout the Shadowhunter Academy. This has 10 books. Again, I'm reading this all at once because that's just easier for me. So that's Welcome to the Shadowhunter Academy, The Lost Herondale, The Whitechapel Fiend, Nothing But Shadows, The Evil We Love, Pale Kings and Princes, Bitter of Tongue, The Fiery Trial, Born to Endless Night, Angels Twice Descending. Huzzah! Those are those in there. The next books that you are going to read, the next series you're going to read all at once, is going to be the Dark Artifices trilogy. This follows Emma and Julian, and you meet Emma and Julian in the Mortal Instruments last book, City of Heavenly Fire. You start off where the Mortal Instruments basically end. That reading order is going to be, the first book is going to be Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, Queen of Air and Darkness. So pretty! Love this. This is what I'm supposed to get into next. I'm very excited. The fact is that Mortal Instruments is everyone's least favorite. That's what I've heard, at least. And I love that series. Like, I literally bawled my eyes out. So the fact that these are apparently supposed to be better, I'm gonna cry. But I'm excited. So the next books that you are going to get into are actually going to be 2 of them. It's called The Eldest Curses. There are 2 books for it. So there's the Red Schools of Magic and then the Lost Book of the White. The only thing I really know about this is you follow Magnus and Alec, and you get their story and just like where they've been, and they go on a vacation together and they have to deal with a lot of demons. Then the next book you're gonna read is The Ghost of the Shadow Market, and you follow Jem, who is from the Infernal Device trilogy. You're going to get into the last series so far Cassandra Clare has out, which is going to be the Last Hours books. And these are the children of the Infernal Device characters. The only one I know is James. We already met him in the Shadowhunter Academy, so you should kind of already know about him. But this is only a trilogy, and these books are absolutely gorgeous. Like, when I bought these, I didn't want the paperback, I wanted the hardcovers because these are beautiful, and I will show you why they are. I don't know anything about these because I haven't gotten that far. That is going to be Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, Chain of Thorns, and that is the last of the Last Hours, and that is what I'm doing. So that's the first order you can do. Let's get into the orders that Cassandra Clare recommends herself. You start with the Mortal Instruments first 3 books, which is going to be City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass. After you're done those 3, you're going to get into the first Eldest Curses book, which is going to be the Red Schools of Magic. After that one, you're going to start the Infernal Device series, which is going to be the Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess. After that, you're going to get back into the Mortal Instruments last 3, which is going to be City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, City of Heavenly Fire. City of Heavenly Fire. After that, you're going to do the Bane Chronicles. After that, you're going to do Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. Once you're done with that, you're going to get into the second book of the Eldest Curses, which is going to be the Lost Book of the White. After that, you're going to get into the Dark Artifices trilogy. Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, Queen of Air and Darkness. After that, you're going to get into the last trilogy that she has out, Chain of Gold. This is the Last Hours, Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, Chain of Thorns. And once you are done with all of those, you're just gonna read the Shadowhunter Codex. That is the only book I haven't talked about. Pretty much like the textbook that the Shadowhunters read, and personally, I don't think I'm gonna read it. It just pretty much has like all their spells, runes, and like just like a fun book. The textbook, like I said. Okay, the third method I'm going to talk about is to read the Cassandra Clare books in order of each series. So that means you can start with any series if you want, but I would recommend starting with the Mortal Instruments series, and this is the one it says to do. So Mortal Instruments series, City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, City of Heavenly Fire. Once you're done with that, you're gonna get into the Eldest Curses, which is gonna be the Red Scrolls of Magic, and the Lost Book of the White. The next one, you're gonna do the Infernal Device series, Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess. After that, you've got the Dark Artifices trilogy, Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, Queen of Air and Darkness. We're still going. The next one is gonna be the Last Hours trilogy, Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, Chain of Thorns. These are books that are not part of series, and that is going to contain the Bane Chronicles, Shadowhunters Codex, Codex, oh my god, I said Codex, I'm sorry, Codex. Those from the Shadowhunter Academy, and then the Ghost of the Shadow Market. Again, these are the novellas. The next one is going to be how they were published, is going to be City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, Clockwork Angel, City of Fallen Angels, Clockwork Prince, City of Lost Souls, Clockwork Princess, the Shadowhunters Codex, City of Heavenly Fire, the Bane Chronicles, Tales from a Shadowhunter Academy, Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, Queen of Air and Darkness. And then you've got the Red Scrolls of Magic, the Ghost of the Shadowhunter Market, Chain of Gold, the Lost Book of the White, Chain of Iron, and Chain of Thorns. And that is the publication order. Okay, and then the fourth option to read the books is the chronological order of like based on the events. If you want to do chronological order, I believe you start with the Bane Chronicles, and you can go to the Shadowhunter website. It's so detailed, like you go all over the place, and frankly, you can go see that for yourself. That's a lot of moving for me. Okay, so this goes with Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, Clockwork Princess, Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron, Chain of Thorns, City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, and then you got the Red Scrolls of Magic, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, City of Heavenly Fire. And then you've got the Lost Book of the White, and then you've got Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, Queen of Air and Darkness. This didn't add in the others. I feel like the Bane Chronicles you could probably fit in. I would finish the Mortal Instruments and put that one in. And if you want to read the Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, again, I would put that in after the Bane Chronicles. I feel like that'd be great. I hope all of that made sense. There are so many different ways to read these books, and I don't think there's a right way. I feel like the only right way would be Cassandra Clare's way, as she's the one who wrote them. So if you wanted to, I would do that order, but I feel like you could have fun reading these books anywhere. I feel like if I were to restart this, because of my brain and how everything works, and I knew about the Shadowhunter Chronicles like way before when I was younger, I would probably start with the Infernal Device series because I love when everything is in order. That would just like fill my heart with warmth and see where characters go, and like it would make sense with the ancestors. But this is also a fun way, the way that I'm doing it, and I'm enjoying it. Like going back into the past, coming back into the future, present, you know, it's just fun. In all, with this video, there is no right way to read it. No one's right. You're not gonna miss anything, and I think that's the best thing. If you were to read the entire Mortal Instruments series and then go into the Infernal Device trilogy, you're not missing anything. You might get spoiled there, but it's okay. Trust me, that happened to me and I'm okay. I think if anything, just have fun, enjoy it. I hope you guys go into the Shadowhunter world. I've been getting so many comments on how I'm reading it. I figured just put it into a video would be much, much better. So I love you guys. I will see you guys in my next video. Enjoy reading.